What are you guys' impressions of the patch? Because I feel like for a lot of characters they didn't really fix their issues, and that is like my main gripe with this patch is that if you look at, for example, like the Punish game characters like Falcon and Falco or Bayonetta, they made their strength stronger, but they're still just not good enough. My main gripe is that they didn't fix online yet. Yeah, that's fair enough. That's fair enough. Didn't really help neutral. Yeah. So I actually made a few notes. I found it underwhelming. They didn't give more tools for bad characters, just made their strengths stronger. A lot was changed and more was changed than that will be through the line. Yeah, so I agree with you, Greed Boys. It was more change than I expected, more impactful change than I expected. But I also agree with like this sentiment that strengths got buffed, but weaknesses didn't really. And back when Palutena got nerfed, or even Peach, I was like, yeah, okay, so I get it. You make their strength less overwhelming. But the reason why they beat lower or mid-tier characters is not because they're strong or because of down throw Becker. It's actually just because of their entire game plan, right? So yeah. So let's get into it. So Kirby, first character who got buffed. I'm sure Warpstar was happy when he saw Kirby pop up, and then when he read what the actual buffs were, he was probably pretty depressed because I'm gonna be honest, these are not really the greatest. In my personal opinion, and that is just talking from like a theoretical point of view, I think the dash tech buff could be decent. I saw that it kind of sets up into Inhale, which is obviously a really good way to start the neutral. And in general, just kind of improves his burst range, which makes him a little bit scarier. But the down smash buff doesn't really matter. The down special buff doesn't really matter. And then forward air and Becker, I mean, they were already pretty good reward for what they were. He didn't really need those changes, right? It's not what he needed. Yeah, it's just safer in general. So that's true. So I don't even know. How safe is Kirby's thing right now? Palutena almost for sure beats Min Min. Min Min literally plays the entire game in explosive flame range. That's fair enough. We can find out if you hang around. We can play some games. We can even play a best of 5. I'll be playing Min Min for you. Because after all, guys, just quick reminder, it is the 30th of the month. That means tomorrow is going to be July, which means that tonight I will be raffling away the coaching sessions for the end of the month for my subscribers. So if you weren't aware, we're going to be raffling away 1 hour coaching session per 15 subscribers. So right now we're at 41. So that's 2 coaching sessions. If we get just 4 more subs, we'll be able to hit that 45, and that's another coaching session in the running. Of course, big shout outs to Monkey D. Astra gifting a total of 3 subs this month. That's kind of crazy. Like, I really appreciate the support. And one thing about this stream, I actually have a coaching session for like half an hour at 9 p.m. So that's going to be like a very quick coaching session. It's also going to be playing games. So I'm just going to be playing him. It's almost a viewer battle. Actually. So that's going to be going down at 9. But before that, we'll just be looking at patch notes and viewer battles. If I actually break some combos. Yeah, so I actually thought he had forward air combos, and I was actually kind of worrying about that. But that kind of sucks, actually. That actually sucks. Dude, guys, I was playing Min Min on Wi-Fi today, and I played against this Luigi who literally just looked for the grab, and every time he would get the grab, I just SDI'd out of the 0 to death, and eventually he just kind of stopped playing. It was funny as fuck. Would you be able to coach U.S. citizens? Yeah, for sure, dude. I think more of my students are American than European, actually. So, yeah, I'll be able to coach U.S. citizens. So, yeah, Kirby, TLDR, Dash Tech could do a lot for his burst range. Forward air broke his combo, so it's almost a nerf. And then like down smash and down special don't really matter. I think the back air buff could be good. I don't know how much the launch distance is increased by. But it didn't really fix his issues. His dash attack right now, it's minus 38. So making that safer, I mean, it's still going to be extremely unsafe, right? There's no way this is going to suddenly be like usable and neutral. Of course, if you hit with a late hit, you're going to be a lot safer than minus 38. But if you hit with the late hit, then it's already not really burst range anymore because it's so slow. Like, the late is 27. So by the time you have already reacted, like, there's no other way. So I don't think Kirby got a lot out of it. Catafalcon, though. Holy moly. No, his Nair did not get buffed, unfortunately. Or, well, maybe fortunately. Depends on how you look at it, right? Yeah, Falcon side B buffs are actually like crazy. Like, they actually wrote an entire paragraph just to kind of, just to convey all of the things that they changed. So the TLDR says more range, and the launch distance is less, so it's a shorter launch distance and a better angle. So Falcon can do stuff like side B and then do a rising backer and still like from the corner side B you and then backer you into the blast zone. It's gonna be extremely early kills. I've seen people like combo it into knee. I don't know if it's a true combo into knee, but it did look like it's at least a 50-50. Raptor boost to up tilt spike, that sounds disgusting. Yeah, I tried to let's actually try to look that up. I was considering it, but let's. So if you look for Falcon, and you just sort by videos, then you see all the new Falcon clips. Or hopefully. I saw this one. So basically Luigi cannot grab dash attack. Crazy. So dash attack is safer as well. As you can see, dash attack reduced vulnerability, which is not only going to make it a better approach tool, but also a better combo starter, of course. I think the down tilt buff, like this, like usually this type of stuff doesn't really matter, but now it actually does, because the angle, because of the angle, it just like a little bit of extra knockback changes so much. It changes how many characters you can gimp, so it's very impactful in my opinion. And up smash, I mean, it's whatever. The spike on the aerial side B, like, honestly, I don't think that's very impactful either. But the grounded side B, very, very good buffs. Yeah, sure, guys. Sure, guys, beer. And then there's down special. So, this is actually kind of huge. This is actually kind of huge because, like, I don't know if you ever played versus Falcon, but down B out of the corner is like an actual thing, because if you shield like the start of his side of his down B, he actually crosses you up so far that that it's actually kind of safe. So this buff is actually kind of huge, and I actually played around with it, and it actually feels faster as well. I don't know how many frames. Again, I don't know the exact changes. We can actually check Ruben Twitter. Because he does have some of the comparisons, but just very, very interesting that they decided to buff Falcon in this way, because a lot of people, let's see if Falcon is in the lists. No, he's not yet. He's not yet, so I don't know the exact changes, but it's really interesting that they try to, like, they buffed all of his burst range, dash attack, side special, down special. Very, very crazy, because like his thing is that he has, like, in his previous games, he had amazing burst range and amazing combo game, but his disadvantage was horrible. And I guess they're kind of sticking to, like, that power fantasy. I'm not a big fan because I don't really like Falcon, but I mean, it's a good way to buff him. The second hit of his up smash is -6? What? No way. Falcon Online is going to be even more annoying to deal with. I mean, online, and everyone. It was already -6. That's crazy. I never knew that this move is -7. Right? It was always -7. That's what I meant. I never knew this was -7. I knew down smash was safe. I never knew up smash was that safe. That's kind of crazy, actually. And now it has more launch resistance as well, so pretty good buffs. So let's listen to Gijsbeer and just kind of check out the Falco and Diddy buff. So going from Falcon to Falco. I mean, he's the next in the list, so I mean it's easy. It's also just insane. The range is insane. Yeah, it has such a disjoint, dude. Dude, the Falco changes. All right, so okay. So the Falco power fantasy is very simple. The character is slow, but he has a lot of ways to kind of bully you with like lasers and down B, stuff like that. Hey, Kelvin, what's up, man? Glad to see you here. But yeah, so he has a lot of ways to like bully you at longer ranges. And then when he does hit you, he gets a lot of damage out of it. I don't think it's a very engaging design. But then again, I'm not a fan of punish game characters who kind of suck at neutral, and then when they do hit you, they get a lot of damage. I don't think it's a very interesting playstyle to play against. But for Falco, they actually kind of almost changed his archetype, because now it looks like his neutral actually is a lot better. So there is stupid now. I 100% agree. But his down tilt. Okay, so down tilt was already a good tilt. It was already a good tilt, but now it's a legitimate combo starter. Like actually a really good combo starter. Up smash actually combos. Mwah. Every change that fixes a multi-hit, I love it. Like I don't care. Like I don't like Falco, buff his up smash to make it connect. Like I'm fine with that. The extended launch distance, I mean, that's a big buff because his up smash was already pretty damn good. It's very lasting. So they'll definitely take this. But the fact that they fixed the multi-hit, very nice. I assume these changes were also to kind of fix the neutral air multi-hit. But that's good. His neutral air kind of paled in comparison to his forward air in a lot of ways. So it's nice. I don't think so, Kicknoff. I don't think so. I don't think they actually made it connect on smaller characters. Yeah, so the thing is, so up tilt is a really good combo starter, but up tilt is also unsafe. I think if you go for up tilt and neutral, you're actually kind of a goon. And I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, that's kind of how Falco has to play. He has to fish for those big hits, right? And then forward tilt, well, it was a decent poke. It didn't get any reward. So now down tilt, I think arguably, I don't know the frame data, but I think down tilt was arguably just as good as a poke as forward tilt was. It's that down tilt you can jump over, forward tilt is very hard to jump over. That's the main difference. But yeah, look at this. Down tilt was actually safer than forward tilt, but it is a little bit slower. Forward tilt also, it only lasts 24 frames. That's kind of crazy, actually. But yeah, so now down tilt is kind of like the in-between between forward tilt and up tilt. Like, it's a combo starter and it's a poke. So, very nice on that. Then the down air. Like, did you guys see how little landing lag this move has? Like, holy moly. It's like melee down air. It's legitimately crazy. Because, like, the whole, like, when Falco went from Brawl to Smash 4, the thing they did was, like, they made down air slower, and gave it more lag to make it like the grand finale, you know. And now we're kind of back to like the Brawl down air. Yeah, we'll be looking at this in training mode in a little bit. What's up, Random? What's up, Nover? And then this buff. Okay, so this is the buff that I disagree with. The attacks increase the attack speed on the ground. So this move is actually so fast now. Like, it's not okay. It's definitely not okay. And I think it kind of promotes a very uninteractive playstyle where the opponent has to constantly play around a move that covers the entire fucking stage, and that's unreactable and can almost be used in reaction to situations. So I really don't know what they were thinking with this, but this is what I was talking about. So I think like this changes Falco from the person who's getting bullied to, in some situations, being able to like bully. So if you try to like wall him out, you gotta keep this in mind way more than before. Yeah, so online online is even more busted. Kelvin, I don't know about how it feels offline, but online it's actually stupid. So this change, definitely don't agree with him because it kind of goes against like the Falco, like Falco's character design, in my opinion. I would have looked into like buffing lasers or even buffing down B. I think down B is like one of his most unique moves. Very interesting. But yeah. Yeah, I haven't gotten to Mewtwo yet. Yeah, so exactly, Great Boys. It's kind of like it's kind of the same idea. So let's quickly go to Diddy and then we'll go back to Marth. Dark Pit, etc., etc. Diddy Kong. I think they could play around with adding Leg of Shield because I love the idea of side B as a combo starter, but being able to do it is just kind of nuts. Yeah, I would agree. I think it's probably still punishable on Shield. So there's that. I think the main issue is that like a short startup on a move with that range, with that reward as well, kind of crazy. So Diddy Kong got fucking robbed, dude. All right, so first thing to look at, his infinite is gone. So his infinite is gone, but I've actually heard that it's still possible. So I don't even know what to think about this shit. I'm actually gonna look it up. Let's see what Twitter has to say. So I've heard the infinite got removed, but someone told me that it's still possible in some way. Real happy with the infinite being gone. I don't know what Twitter has to say about this, because a lot of people talk about Diddy Kong Racing apparently, which was a good game. I love Diddy Kong Racing. I played the Tiger. The Tiger is fucking legit. Yeah. So someone told me that's still possible. It's just a lot different or a lot harder now. But I'm glad they removed Timber. Exactly, Timber. My cute little tiger. So I'm glad that they at least attempted to remove it, whether it is or it's not removed, because infinites, in my opinion, don't really have a place in the game. But of course, your mileage may vary on that opinion. Yeah, but the compensation buffs kind of suck, right? Player 1. Oh, player 1. Okay, let's see. So there's not a lot of Diddy players, so I couldn't really... Yeah, he has another platform infinite. Alright. The Diddy Infinite is called Titty Diddy. It's actually very cool and very fun. That's enough Twitter for today. I'm okay with infinites even if it's really hard to pull off. So I definitely disagree with that philosophy. So in my opinion, if execution is the barrier, then eventually people will be able to do it anyway. So the only thing that it becomes is a ticking time bomb. I remember when we played Brawl and people said, well, Ice Climber infinites aren't consistent anyway, so, you know, whatever. And then suddenly everyone started doing them and Ice Climber was top 3 in the game. Because, like, it's a ticking time bomb. People will eventually master it anyway. I think even in Melee, you can see some, like, Ice, for example, was really getting, like, the Wave Shine Infinite on Peach down, like, stat. And you can SDI that, make it very hard to react to. He still got those. Conditions. Okay, so that's another argument. And I can see that. It depends on how conditional it is. I think his infinite was definitely not conditional enough. That's just me. So the compensation, so starting from like the shittiest buffs, those are these two. So his side tilt, his forward tilt, it's still useless. The attack range, the launch angle, the hit detection, it's still useless. And this becomes a skill check. Exactly. Like, how many hours did you grind in training mode? So his forward tilt, still useless. His down smash is going to still be used in the exact same way. I don't think they changed any... Like, these changes don't matter. But it doesn't. As far as I know, it doesn't, High Spear. It doesn't have a stupid angle. So these changes are actually, like, negligible. I've heard that dash hack is actually pretty noticeable. I mean, I haven't not seen it connect ever, honestly. But the range on the final attack, I've actually heard people say that it's actually kind of noticeable. So that's okay, but it's not really, like... It's not really what you play dash attack for, right? We got to Falco and then skipped from Marth to Diddy Kong. Now we're talking about Diddy Kong. So these two buffs, like these two moves, are still like the exact same in usage. So nothing changed. This is like we nerfed Wolf down smash 2%, kills 2% later. GG Nintendo, GG. So that's absolutely ridiculous. For there, actually have not heard anyone talk about this, which means that it probably isn't really noticeable. But I think the idea behind this buff is pretty good. So yeah, I think Diddy actually, all in all, it's like a net nerf to the character. He's actually like the only character who got nerfed in a meaningful way in this patch. Because you can say that like Ridley got nerfed, but I mean, come on, they just took away like a janky down throw skewer setup. Who cares? I don't care. So yeah, Diddy got dicked. But that's karma for being a broken character 2 games in a row. 3 if you count Project M. But yeah. Let's continue. So Falco got some really good buffs, and I really hate the side special buff. Marth. So Marth, I've heard such like mixed opinions about Marth's buffs. I never use the infinite, so I'll happily take the scraps. I mean, I guess even if you take the scraps, you probably won't notice a lot. But yeah. So the main change for Marth is actually the back air. So if we go back to Ruben Dahl's Twitter, thank you Ruben Dahl for providing the information. You are actually amazing. If you don't follow him, you should follow him because he does a lot for the community. I think the Marth changes are here. Right. Oh, he didn't actually show the exact changes. I think I got them on Discord. Fair is also huge for him. Bear was already a bit consistent to land a tipper out of an attack cancel or RAR. I think Esam said on stream that Diddy's Rising Forward Air hits Pikachu now. That would be a huge change. So, forward air is just a tiny bit bigger. Back air tipper is 1.5 times as big as it used to be. That's crazy. Like, that's crazy. And up air got the same change as forward air, basically 0.05 extra. And then the tipper down smash kills earlier, like 5% on both of the hits. It hits Pichu now. Oh dang! So I take it back. That's actually pretty significant for Diddy. But yeah. So for Marth, like the Becker size increase actually is gonna like make him so much more consistent at killing. Like I think the Becker change is actually pretty significant. I tried it out in training mode a little bit. I didn't really notice the forward air and upper changes, and from what I talked about to people who play like the Fire Emblem characters, right? So like the Lucina mains, the Roy, Kroy mains, etc. They said that they didn't really notice the forward air and upper changes either. But the back air change, very significant. That said, the issue that Marth has and always will have is that he will always have to compete with Lucina. And if Lucina is more consistent, then Lucina will probably get picked. And unfortunately, I think that's still going to be the case. I think it's still going to be like Lucina all the way. More people might play Marth now because Marth is, for a lot of people, more fun than Lucina. But I do believe it's still going to be mainly Lucina coming out on top. I've been landing non-stop to a space fair. That's nice, dude. I can definitely see the change. Like, I can definitely see this being impactful. But I think the back air change is definitely the biggest change here. He now has an actual reason to get played, exactly. And Down Smash 1 is more base knockback growth. Base knockback, I think. And then Down Smash 2 has more knockback growth. Alright. That's interesting, actually. Yeah, I mean, Down Smash 2 was already really strong. Now it's just even stronger. Tipper upper into tipper upper is really easy now. Okay, that's cool, that's cool, that's cool. Well, I mean, so we'll see how this ends up, right? I think it's pretty hard to say because I feel like Marth already was like a hidden good character. There's just never a reason to play Marth over Lucina. But I don't think he was like as bad as people said. It's just like it's impossible to judge his skill level when nobody plays him. But perhaps these changes will help people out a little bit. I think they're good changes. I don't get why Down Smash got buffed because I don't really even like his Down Smash. Doesn't move too much. I don't see people use it whatsoever. But, you know, we take those, especially the Marth mains. Now, Mewtwo. Alright, guys. Instead of going through the notes, I'll actually show you. It's good for tech chasing. I can see that, yeah. But for tech chasing, then... I think when tech chasing, it's a little bit harder to get the tipper for multiple spacings. Return of Core and Ramses? No way. What's up, Darko? Good to see you, man. If Mr. R says even Kirby is better than Marth. Alright, guys, so... This is crazy. Like, the speed at which these come out, this was not possible before. And then... I think if you do it correctly... You can actually combo it as well. At like longer ranges maybe? I don't even know. I'm not a Mewtwo expert. But it's actually kind of crazy. It's like an actual usable projectile now. It reminds me a little bit of Greninja Shuriken. But because it's slower, it controls more of the neutral. So that's really good for Mewtwo. Character was already pretty good in my opinion. And now he's just even better. So I don't know why that decision was made, but it is what it is. We're about to see I think we're about to see a lot more Mewtwo. It is dummy fast. You're learning Mii Gunner. Cool, man. Cool, man. Do you like the character so far? Down throw fair, but I don't think it's true of DI. I've heard it's true. I've heard it's true outside of kill percents. So is Mewtwo a horseshit character again? I'm almost afraid that he is. I don't think he's gonna be anywhere close to Smash 4 because that was like next level. But it's pretty insane. It's PM 3.02 Mewtwo, yeah, for sure. Tail is still a thing. Or wait, but I think Mewtwo players kind of exaggerate. I understand if you made Mewtwo, it's like the worst feeling in the world to get hit by the tail or to die like 40 even though you're huge. In reality though, I don't think it's like one of those passive things. I don't know if it's gonna be too huge. Like the tail hitbox. It's like Brawl Falcon lasers. I think Brawl Falcon lasers are a little bit better. Like a little bit better, but it's definitely a lot better than the neutral special. So the power when that charge is increased, the attack speed is increased, and the vulnerability is increased. So the release is faster and it recovers faster. Kind of crazy. Then up B It's reduced vulnerability after landing and finishing the move. So I don't know how much it is reduced, but like as soon as I read this, I thought, okay, so it's kind of like Palutena Warp now, and Palutena Warp is amazing for getting out of disadvantage. So that would be actually kind of crazy. Yeah, for sure. DVD, for sure. He needs the hurt box to be balanced. And then this change. So the up air I don't really care about, but this change, I think the up air might actually break some of his combos that he currently has, because it is like if he does a rising double jump up air, okay, teleport around a bit. Yeah, we can give it a shot. So the double jump up air is actually one of his combo extenders. All right. So that's a combo. He cannot air dodge out there. So it's not a kill confirm, but it is a combo. Oh. Yep. And he's holding air dodge. As you can see. That's kind of crazy. So Mewtwo actually gets a reward out of grabbing now. Even though, like, his dash grab is horrible, as you can see. But at least, if he succeeds, now he gets something out of it. The standing grab is okay, though. Oh. That's actually a lot of damage for just a grab. That's kind of crazy. That's kind of crazy. It's not a kill confirm. That much has been confirmed for as far as I know. So yeah, teleporting to the ground is perhaps a new mix-up that this change has given. Down throw to forward air, now thing to wreck damage. Very nice, especially since forward air also puts you into like a mix-up scenario where you're still like Mewtwo still has an advantage at that point. Fuck is that wave dash? Exactly. What is that wave dash? It's just like the game rewards defensive play but punishes you for using defensive options. Yeah, I've heard Falco does really well in this matchup. So back air, I don't know why they buffed this move, but kind of going back to the game, like, okay, so this is one of the best edge guarding moves in the entire game. So if you are off stage and Mewtwo does double jump back air, he just becomes a wall. Because his double jump is so slow and his back air is so lasting, like, good luck recovering. Good luck recovering. And he doesn't sacrifice anything because his double jump gets him back to the stage. This is actually stupid. Like, honestly, I don't know why they buffed that move because it was already extremely strong off stage. And I never understood why they thought like that lasting of a back attack was the play. But it is the play. Like, if you guys check the ultimate frame data. Just because I'm using a zoner, but I got bodied by Min Min and couldn't escape. But that might just be a Min Min thing. Min Min is good against defensive options. So look at this. Look at how long this lasts. Oh, I fucked up. I need to let it play out first. And this is happening while he's jumping up, right? They should just remove this frame. Even then, it's kind of crazy. So Mewtwo's edge guarding going to be even better. And then his neutral improved a lot because of neutral special. His disadvantage improved because of up special. His pressure improved because of down throw buffs. So all in all, like, all aspects of his game have been, I don't want to say severely buffed, but they've all been buffed. I just don't know why they thought it was necessary. You're doing great work, which makes it easy to support. Thank you, Centro. Appreciate it so much, guys. Appreciate it so much, friend. Kind of stumbling on my words. So, Meta Knight. I think the Mewtwo doesn't need a down throw fair anyway because of up throw. Yeah, so up throw is one of the best kill throws in the game. And it's stage position agnostic, so you can use it center stage and kill as well. And then he also has a strong back throw to kill with as well. So all in all, he doesn't really need it. Did they update the frame data app? I don't think so. Not yet. Always takes a little while for that to be to be implemented. So I actually played against the Meta Knight for like an hour today with Min Min. And I think the buffs are actually pretty significant. I think the tornado buff's kind of whatever. The back air buff, extremely significant. This move connects super consistently now. Forward air buff, extremely significant. Reduced vulnerability. It's like 6 frames less lag in the air. That is crazy. That's actually like 6 frames of lag removed. That's significant. And the buff to the multi-hit. I think this opens up forward air 1 forward air 1 combos as well. So very significant buff. The increased range on neutral air, actually kind of significant as well. I think his neutral air is very underrated. In general, I think Meta Knight's underrated. I actually have a very controversial opinion, and that is that Meta Knight might go even with Shulk. I haven't played the matchup a lot, but I think it's very possible. And this just kind of makes me very scared. Honestly, very scared. And then up special. So this is... Holy shit. Like... Why? It now combos super consistently. Not much more to add. I don't know. I don't know why. But they made it happen. So Meta Knight, his main flaw, in my opinion, was that his up special was just too inconsistent. Like, the character was fine, but the up special just didn't work. And now it works. Thank you, Nintendo. Well, it is a multi-hit fix, but this character should have been left bad because his playstyle is so unfun. So unfun. Very binary character. Yeah. Honestly, not much to add. Very significant buffs. I think out of all the characters we talked about so far, I think the most significant buffs might have been Mewtwo's, because I think, like, I put a lot of value into the neutral special buff, right? But Meta Knight is definitely a close second. Definitely a close second. Better that than Brawl Meta Knight. So when Ho was over in the Netherlands one time, we decided to boot up Brawl on an old CRT TV, I think, or like an old LCD that could handle the output. And we coached him into playing Meta Knight, and we said, okay, just use Tornado. And he did all of these things, like all of these like very complicated Meta Knight stuff. He tried to really play the character, and we were like, dude, just press Tornado. Meta Knight and Brawl was a trip. But when I would still prefer to play against Brawl Meta Knight over Smash 4 or Ultimate Meta Knight, because the character just had so many options. It was a very interactive matchup with a lot of facets to it. This matchup is just like, can you avoid dash attack? If yes, you win. That's it. Not very fun in my opinion. So let's see. Yeah, the pit changes. So I actually talked with Guy a little bit about this, and these are kind of huge. So like, I think Pit was like borderline high tier, and with these changes, he is, in my opinion, like straight up high tier. So one of the main gripes from Pit players, or from Guy in particular, is that Pit's kill power was very much horizontal and very much based around gimps. So horizontal kill power is very situational. It's very strong when you're by the ledge. It's very weak when you're not. While vertical kill power is very consistent. So by buffing both up air and up smash, he now has way more vertical KO power, which is going to make him way more consistent as a result. So Pit was actually pretty inconsistent because of the way he killed before, and now that's been remedied a lot. He can actually use up tilt into up air as a kill confirm from like 130 to 200%. So that's kind of crazy. So up tilt to up air is kind of crazy. Up smash was already a good move, making it kill earlier very, very welcome. down special buffs, I've seen some shit. Like, I've seen some shit on Lucky Twitter. Let's see. So, up tilt up air is a kill confirm for Pit now. It started working at 130 on midways on Battlefield No Rage. Literally works until almost 200%. Can't DI out of anything. So, that's kind of crazy. And then, there's this. Jump, down B, get to the platform for free. Look at this. He's still in his animation. By the time he has recovered, Pit has already jumped out. So, that could be huge. That could actually be big because Pit has issues getting off the ledge. Because his range is kind of... Well, I mean, he has range. But versus sword character like Roy, it's oftentimes not enough. And forward air is oftentimes a little bit too unsafe. So this buff can be very significant. This buff can be very significant. This buff can be very significant as well. And then down tilt just being a better combo starter. Like, they didn't fix his multi-hits, which is a shame. But they definitely fixed some of his other weaknesses. So as a Pit player, I initially thought they were huge, but after actually trying them, I think they are not as huge as I initially thought. Still really good. The two biggest buffs are up air and down tilt. So yeah, I can see the down tilt buff being very good for combos. It was already an amazing tilt. Now it's even better. And then up air comboing from up tilt just as a kill confirm and down tilt as well. Kind of nice. Tipper down tilt. Okay, so that's fair enough. But yeah, down tilt into back air is still a kill confirm. I don't know if that's the inner hitbox only either. But I think up tilt up air as a kill confirm is pretty significant. I actually think that's pretty huge. So I think the Pit buffs are actually, like, they're a big winner in this patch. So, like, Falco now has more neutral. Falcon now has more burst range. Mewtwo, better neutral, better advantage. Arguably better pressure. Arguably better disadvantage. Diddy nerfed. Or the infinite is still in. Kappa. Because why not? What else did we talk about? Marth. Decently significant. But still outclassed by Lucina. Probably. And then Meta Knight. Super significant buffs. Main flaw has been fixed with a B connecting. So a lot of good changes here for these characters. But so far, like Falcon, Falco, Mewtwo, Meta Knight, extremely strong buffs, and then Pit fixed some weaknesses, didn't remedy others. Overall, good changes. I think Pit, like I said, I think Pit was borderline high tier before. I think right now, he is definitely high tier. Just my opinion. I'm not a Pit player. So the monster, bro. Why, Nintendo? Why did you do this to me? Who wanted Ike buffs? I didn't want Ike buffs. Did you want Ike buffs? Did you ask Nintendo for Ike buffs? Did you write an email to Sakurai saying, "Hello, Mr. Sakurai. I was waiting all my life for Ike to kill me at 80 with up B?" Oh my goodness. New Ike B is very funny. Well, if that's your definition of funny, I don't know what humor is anymore. Because for me, it's crippling depression. And that's not to make light of depression, of course. I only kid. So you don't even need rage to kill at 90%. Check this out. So I actually made a post about this. So this is Peach dying around the edge of Final Destination to no rage up B at 103% before the final hit. So when she got hit, she was at about 90%. So at 90% without rage, she dies. Crazy. It is Peach, she's light, but crazy. Imagine Ike being the best Fire Emblem character now. I mean, it's still not Lucina. It's still not Lucina. Let's not exaggerate. Ike could be out of shield in last hit. Oh, God. So, okay, so dash attack being stronger, that's fine. Forward air having reduced vulnerability and increased damage, also fine. Not the biggest of changes. I think the biggest changes are the down tilt, neutral air, and up special. So up special, we all know about this. The first hit doesn't clank anymore. So it's now transcendent. And these two changes just made the move kill like 40% sooner. Absolutely insane. So it can be like an advantage state tool to call out jumps, stuff like that. Yeah, Kelvin, I definitely agree. I don't know why they have a fetish with taking bad recovery moves and giving them insane reward. So like these Ether and Soaring Slash both spike the opponents. Clim Hazard spikes the opponents. Fucking if you get hit by Incineroar side B, you get dumped off stage. It's actually crazy. Can you punish Ike's Nair out of shield now, though? I don't actually know. I think it was punishable before. Yeah, Incineroar is a whole other story. We can get into that later. So, neutral air actually kind of got nerfed. So that it knocks back further. But this also means that it can set up into kills earlier on platform stages. So Ike on platforms is now even stronger. So you can like landing neutral air, do another landing neutral air on the platform, and then go into up air, kill people way earlier than you could before on platform stages. So his ladders got buffed with this change, and his like neutral kill confirms on like a flat stage or on the ground without a platform got nerfed. As someone in my chat mentioned, let's see, who was it? Air F Normal Man. So the Nair front have got nerfed, but the backswing is still similar to the old Nair. So yeah, so the backswing still kind of does the same as they used to do. So that's, you know, that's still there. But the down tilt launch distance change is actually huge, because one of Ike's main weaknesses, in my opinion, was that if he wanted to KO you, he had to jump. So he had to like kind of play the neutral and find an opportunity to jump at you and get a landing aerial, which is quite a prerequisite to find a KO. And now he can stay grounded and kind of look for the down tilt. That's a huge buff. That's a huge buff to his consistency, his bait and punish game, and in general just how strong the character is at higher percent. So this down tilt change is arguably his biggest buff in terms of game plan. Up smash change, also very, very good change. He has forward tilt, but forward tilt is just not the same, because after down tilt you still hold pressure. After forward tilt you don't hold pressure. So if you look at the frame data for these moves, forward tilt, frame 12, minus 17. So it might be safe, but you kind of sacrifice your pressure. Down tilt is frame 7, so that's 5 frames faster, and minus 13. And just as I say that, dude, J-Lim, I should just say J-Lim TV, thanks for the sub, man. Getting closer to that sub goal on the final day. Appreciate it so very much. Yeah, I really, really appreciate the fact that you enjoy the stream enough to support. Hope you enjoy the benefits that subbing does give you. Let me welcome you with my beautiful Kirby. There you go. I think both down tilt and forward tilt is insane. Yeah, I think down tilt is like huge. But up B, like, I'm just ready to be playing neutral, and then my jump gets called out by up B and I die at 90. That's actually crazy. Like, just the pressure of that is also gonna accentuate his neutral a lot. He won't look for the down tilt Unga Bunga with up B. Exactly. So it's a double threat. If you stay on the ground, you get down tilted. If you go into the air, you get up specialed. So Ike, up B as a tool forces you to play differently, and down tilt significantly increases his game plan when he is looking for the KO. So out of all the changes so far, Falco's game plan has changed due to side B. Mewtwo's game plan has changed due to neutral B. And Ike's game plan has changed a lot due to down tilt. I think Ike is definitely significant, definitely a very significant change, especially the down tilt. And then ladder's better as well. Why? So now he kills earlier. Now he smashed for a Zero Suit. Not that bad though. Yo, Andrew, thanks for the follow, man. Appreciate the support. Hope you enjoy this channel and learn a thing or two about a thing or two. I'll be just armor through attacks and frame 4 as well now. So fun trying to pressure his shield. That's kind of crazy. I actually didn't know that. Wait, let me double check that. Super armor frame 1. That's crazy. I mean, I don't know how. Actually, don't know how impactful that's gonna be, but it can definitely play a part. Yo, D3 can actually kill now. Yeah, exactly. A better Charizard up out of shield. Yeah, I can see that. Even though it is a lot slower, so it's gonna be worse. At just being a straight up punish. No, it's not frame 1. It's not frame 1. The landing hit is on frame 1. But the super armor is frame 5. But the hitbox itself is frame 15. So it will only really work if someone keeps swinging. Ike is so cheesy now. Yeah, I can see that. Diddy can actually kill now. We'll get to DDD. So Diddy Kong, we mentioned Diddy Kong. Now we're at King DDD. So I actually, yo, what's up, Sammy? Bear got a secret buff where it's easier to triple jump. That's kind of nice, actually. I do like that. Yes, I mean, now you know how we felt when we saw Youngling get buffs. Look at these buffs. It's crazy. So King DDD actually got a lot of buffs on like his move's power, but his main flaw is that his neutral is relatively one-dimensional. And I think the buff to his neutral special actually might be pretty big there. From what I've heard from Pelly, it went from frame 17 to frame 14, which is a pretty significant buff because moves in like the that are faster than frame 15 is faster than frame 15 are usually like fastish, and then slower than frame 20 are too slow. So pulling the move towards like the fastish side of like that whole kind of slow moves gradient, pretty significant in my opinion. It's also faster at sucking up projectiles, so it also sucks up Gordos and other projectiles faster. So that's significant as well. And the range increase, not bad either. It is definitely unreactable-ish offline, depending on the range you're at. Because at longer ranges, it takes a longer time to be inhaled, obviously. But to me, this sounds like the biggest buff of them all. I think his up air having better reward, his forward air having better reward, his down tilt probably having better reward, and his up tilt having better reward. All fine. No, the inhale is frame 14, but the projectile inhale is frame 17. That's true. That's correct. But I think that's all fine. I don't think it fixes any of his weaknesses. I think they're kind of forgettable buffs. At least in my opinion, his advantage state wasn't the best anyway. But the neutral special buff, kind of significant. So, D3, better pressure due to inhale buff. Fits his fast faller / double jump movement. On hits, Annika, I don't know if it does much. I feel like his bad matchup will still be bad matchups, but at least now when he has an advantage, he can do more of it due to inhale buffs and higher reward on his hits. He kills from nair to up air. That's pretty significant, actually. I was playing more Meta Knight lately. I'm happy he got some nice buffs. His buffs are very significant in my opinion, especially the up B buff. I just wish he wasn't so one-dimensional, I guess. So Villager, his jab got buffed, his up tilt got buffed. I think the anti-air properties are pretty decent. More power, more launch distance up air, faster down air. These are all okay. I think down air could be an additional out of shield option, but his out of shield is still pretty bad due to his lackluster grab. His improved down special could actually do something for him. But yeah, the thing about up tilt is that you didn't want to land into a Villager either way because his up air is so disjointed and lasting. But I'm glad that the multi-hit got fixed on both of these moves. I think this is not nearly enough to help him out. Especially since down special, like if he has to set up the seed and water the seed, he is sacrificing stage control, pressure, etc. regardless, even if it's faster. So I'm not sure if I even really care about that. And then when he does have the axe, you can still kind of stall that out if you have a character that can do that. So yeah, I think overall Villager buffs, I think like Villager, mostly QOL. So it's mostly quality of life. His game plan is the same. The sacrifices he makes is the same. The things he tries to do is the same. It's all just a little bit better. Have you seen the video where Villager waters a tree from like 2 character lengths away? So has that been changed? Because it only says that the vulnerability has been changed. So I don't know if that actually has been changed there. That's the up tilt fix. Yeah, you did fall out all the time. It was horrible. I like the up tilt fix. Yeah, that was already past patch. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. So Wii Fit. I'm not sure what I think about the Wii Fit changes. So I think I talked about it with Guus a little bit, the Wii Fit trainer from the Netherlands, and I think what he said is that forward air now is safe on shield, so that's huge. I think that's actually a big change. A neutral special killing sooner, also a pretty significant change. I think the up smash change, nobody really cares. Down smash change, nobody really cares. Down tilt could be okay. I don't feel like his normals are his specialty anyway. But a safer forward air on shield, a more kill power on neutral special. I think these 2 changes could actually be pretty huge. So one of Wii Fit Trainer's weaknesses was poor KO power outside of deep breathing. So having a little bit more of that could be good. So better kill power on main projectile. Pretty good. Show your moves. Safe aerial. Very good. So he still doesn't, or they still don't really pressure. But having more safety, definitely significant. Definitely significant. Let's see. Can't up smash be comboed into better now? Probably. But it was already a pretty good combo ender for the right starters. I don't know if there's more setups now, so that could be a thing. You don't often get hit by Wii Fit setups though, because you're kind of playing the long range game, and you're kind of, you know, you're playing the long range game, and you're kind of like avoiding the close range anyway, because their close range normals aren't the best. The worst case scenario is that they get like a landing neutral air, and then they combo that into up smash, but that was already possible, right? Down tilt is now as strong as forward tilt from Wii Fit, which helps, because forward tilt would miss low profiles. So that's a nice quality of life change. Fair now combos into a lot more with less ending lag. That's nice as well. So these changes are actually pretty good. I think it doesn't really change their game plan. It just makes their game plan better. I think their game plan was already pretty solid. Pretty decently well-rounded, good strengths and weaknesses. Overall, though, not super impressed with this. I think this is actually the right way to buff. They kind of fixed a few of their weaknesses, but they didn't really go very far in compensating them. I don't know what the breaking fall things mean. I thought it was text as well. Fair into up smash. That's interesting. That's interesting. Okay. So, the final few. So here's Corrin. I actually played around with these changes a little bit, and I am fairly unimpressed. So, one of Corrin's main weaknesses. Let me actually get some more shitty remixes going. Lo-fi, baby. So a lot of Corrin's issues are her poor ground speed combined with her poor grounded frame data. Combined with her poor reward out of her ground moves. Yo, Kelvin with the sub as well. Thank you, Kelvin. Let me give you the greetings. There you go. Get that Kirby in there. Thanks for subbing, man. Appreciate it so very much. We're almost at the sub goal, guys. That would be three free coaching sessions for the month of June. Kind of crazy. Thank you so very much for the support, Kelvin. Appreciate it very, very much. And it's very kind of you to support the channel. I enjoy your content a lot, so it's only fair. Thank you so very much, man. Thank you so very much. It's the raffle today. Yes, I'm going to be doing the raffle tonight, and I will be posting the results on my Discord. If you're not in my Discord, then I will try to contact you otherwise, probably through Twitch. And I was thinking about doing a recording for the raffle, but I hope you guys can trust me to do it fairly. Because, I mean, to me, there's no difference in who gets the coaching. Of course, as I mentioned before, you can actually pass the coaching session along to a friend as well if you want to. So if you don't want the coaching, just give it to your best friend who does want it. Or, you know, save it up, whatever. It's all good. This remix is kind of weird. Okay, so Corrin. So her ground game is horrible. And that was all because of the pin nerfs. So in Smash 4, she had 3 ground moves. She had forward smash, which was good because the tipper was safe. She had down tilt, which has decent reward. Very unsafe though, but it was fast. And she had side B, and side B kind of carried her ground game. Now they tried to buff her side smash. So I think the tipper now, it was minus 30 before. Now it's like minus 23. So it's still relatively unsafe, unfortunately. I think a lot of characters can still punish it. So that's a shame. I think the increased power, it's okay. The increased range is also okay. I had some issues with the range before. But so that's a nice change, but the power I didn't really care about. I was really hoping for this change to be significant enough for her tipper forward smash to be safe on a shield. But unfortunately, that's just not the case. Her forward air does a significant larger amount of damage, so that's huge for her because she really gets a lot of mileage out of her forward air as like combo filler. And then back air is stronger, nobody cares. Up air stronger is pretty significant, actually. Still, not really gonna fix her issues. And then side special, this actually, I was pretty excited for this. So the reduced vulnerability, I think that's some like hurt box, hitbox shifting thing. But then the extended launch distance, nobody really cares. And this is actually pretty significant, this final one. So let me show you guys. So jumping off the pin is now a lot better. And it actually is very, very noticeable. The thing is, jumping off the pin, it just kind of adds another layer of mix-ups that she didn't really need, honestly. Let's see. So, when you used to do pin jumps, let me actually go into frame by frame. So, you would be in lag until about this point. So when you're just about to fall again, and now you could, you know, jump out. And now you can jump out while you are still rising. So that's significant decrease or speed up in first actionable frame. Unfortunately, the issue with her side B is not really what you do after you hit a shield. Because, you know, you can do the drop, you can do the kick back, you can do the kick forward. But the jump is now basically like another mix-up for the drop. Thing is, the drop is a little bit more laggy. But this puts you in a worse situation. So that's kind of the trade-off here. The thing is that... How should I best explain this? Her side B, the main issue is not what you do after you hit a shield. It's the fact that it doesn't really serve a purpose. Because this range is basically the same as this range. So there's no reason to ever use this move. Because it gives your opponent more time to react and punish. Well, this is often kind of safe because not a lot of characters can punish from this range. Well, a lot more characters can kind of do like a rising aerial and hit you out of this. And then if you kick, you give them a lot of time to react and still punish you. So there's actually very little reason to do insta pin in this game. And the best thing you can do is like a delayed pin, which gives you more range. But then you cannot whiff punish things on reaction. So this move is just kind of useless in a lot of ways, in my opinion. And that's just my opinion. Because if you do delayed, you get a good amount of range out of it. But then it's just too slow. But that's just like my opinion as a former Smash 4 player. So they didn't really fix the core issue of her ground game, which is her down to this -20. Her S smash used to be safe, it's not anymore, and then her side B just lacks the range to kind of fulfill what it has to do. I think the thing is, if you look at like characters in Smash, all the good characters are always slow, fast characters. So if you look at like a Smash Ultimate tier list, like let's look at Zero's. This is like an early tier list, right? But Pichu's fast. These two characters are actually super fast because of their air acceleration. Olimar's slow, but he's a fortress. Lucina's fast. Pikachu's fast. Wolf is very fast in the air, has a fast dash attack as well. Fox is fast. Wario's fast. Inkling's fast. Greninja's fast. Ivysaur's slower, but he's a fortress. Ike is a fortress. Paltena's fast is fast, fast, fast. Fast, fortress. Fast and a fortress. Fast, fortress. You know, so either you are very fast or you're slow, but your hitboxes are so good that you can kind of form like a defensive bubble that is very hard to penetrate. The thing is, Korra no longer has a defensive bubble that's hard to penetrate. And because, like, she still has the best dash shield in the game. Yo, Senny, what's up, man? Hope you're doing well. So she actually still has one of the best dash shields in the game. I don't know if the stats are in here. Yeah, dash frames. So Sheik and Corrin have the best dash shield in the game. But because dash shield is so much worse in this game, it just doesn't really matter, unfortunately. I think for Game Watch, so if we go back to those stats and we look at Game Watch, so he has one of the best as well. But he has up B out of shield. So he does dash shield and he just up B's you out of shield. Corrin doesn't really have the most amazing out of shield. So her ground game is just very crippled still. These didn't like fix her issues. If this had made Forward Smash safe, then it would have been worth it. Yeah, the emotes, I'm glad you like the emotes. You're missing the best one though. Glad to have you, Sunny. Glad to have you. So I don't think the Corrin changes are actually significant. So Corrin, advantage state, even scarier, core issues untouched, unfortunately. Though side B additional mix-up is pretty cool. So that's gonna help a little bit, but I still think the character is kind of bad. So Bayonetta. Let's see. After this, we only have a few more characters. So Bayonetta, actually, I think her up tilt is the most significant buff. It's now a very consistent move. Not much to add to that. It's probably now her best move, period. They kind of improved her side special, which I think is the stupidest change ever. But it's probably still super laggy. I haven't tested it yet, but I cannot imagine that it avoids many punishes that it didn't, that it couldn't get hit by before. So, side tilt's free, perhaps. I think it's still like a pretty bad move, probably. Side smash, I mean, it's gonna do the same that it did before, just a little bit better. I think the up tilt change is pretty significant. But for Bayo, I actually don't think these changes were super impactful outside of up tilt. I think for Bayo, up tilt change, very good. Rest, kind of meh. Ridley got nerfed. Nobody cares. Like, honestly, if you ever hear a Ridley player complain about this, just like ignore them. Not much to add to this whole ordeal, honestly. But K. Rool, like, I actually watched Bang Gold stream a little bit ago, and the changes actually look pretty significant. So I actually talked with him about K. Rool a little bit, and the conclusion that I kind of arrived to after talking to him is that K. Rool actually has a pretty strong kit. He has a lot of different tools, a lot of ways to accomplish his goals. It's just that his moves are all a little bit too slow to do what they are supposed to do well. And this didn't fix that, but it did give him more reward for picking the right option, which is always good for heavies. His dash attack actually pretty significant buff. Increased large distance makes it very good for down throw dash attack instead of down throw forward tilt. And then a longer lasting sweet spot, very good as well. Up smash, whatever. Back throw angle, this angle is crazy, yo. Like, honestly, I don't know the exact angle, but you guys, I don't know if you guys have seen this. It's still not super strong. So I think by the edge, it kills at like 145. Yeah, I'm gonna show. I think by the edge, it kills at like 145 if you DI correctly. It is way more horizontal. It's like Sonic back throw in Smash 4. But if you DI it properly, you actually have to go into like the lower left blast zone. So it used to be diagonal, and now it's just straight horizontal. So yeah, there's that. It's very hard to DI as well. I don't know if I have a DI script here. So that's with upwards DI. So still like a very low angle. Still a very low angle. So very good. Very nice for setting up offstage. The thing is, his offstage is just not the best. So he doesn't make the best of use out of that back throw. But against some matchups could be very significant. So K. Rool already had a good kit. Just making his moves stronger is pretty significant. I think for K. Rool, these were the right buffs to give, honestly. Especially something like increasing the heavy armor, increasing the durability of the belly. So now his belly can actually handle a charge shot, which is pretty good. For Isabelle, I actually don't know what I think about these changes. Up smash out of shield is now frame 9, so that's pretty significant in my opinion. So a better out of shield for Isabelle, it's like pretty huge. Up air being stronger helps with like down B to up air combo, so that's pretty huge as well. Dash attack is one of her better moves, so making it faster is also pretty good. I just think that this doesn't really tackle her core concern. So for Isabelle, good buffs, but issues remain. So all together, I would call this like quality of life, right? Not much to say about this. That's the wrong Isabelle. Force of habit. I don't have the training mod, so I have an application which simulates a controller, and I can load scripts. So here I have some scripts, if you can read it. And then I can execute these scripts on loop, and then the computer will do, do what I told it to do. So that's pretty cool. So Incineroar, actually, these changes are pretty legit. Training mod is such a big life changer. It really is. It really is. So his grabs are all like 1 frame faster, which is good because his grabs were a little bit too slow. And And then the side special is 2 frames faster, which is pretty significant because the move was on the slower side. And then this is the biggest change. Reduced vulnerability and even more power up. I love this change because I think Incineroar is like... by the way, welcome Guy. Good to see you again. I think Incineroar, putting the power in his down B, that's really like his defining move. And putting more power in it, very, very smart way to buff. So, nice grab changes. Huge change to his power. And Revenge being stronger just does a lot for him. I think the increase in power in like forward throw and it doesn't really matter. I think the increase in power up smash, it's okay. But I think the main deals like the increased grab frame data and the better side special and the better down special, especially the down special. Very, very nice. And then the final victim is Piranha Plant. I think Piranha Plant is kind of a unique case to balance because for Plant, it's like kind of does his own thing and doesn't interact with the opponents as much as he wants to set up his own game. So Plant doesn't really kind of focus on himself. So changes to buff his traps are all welcome. So that's kind of what we're looking at. It's like up tilt is stronger, so if you do get the hit here, you can combo it into up air. It's a kill confirm. Down smash kind of complements his ledge trap game. Very strong ledge trapping. Can now use down smash more consistently. I think increased attack speed, not the biggest change though. Forward air and back air. From what I've heard, these don't matter too much. Forward air still doesn't really auto cancel on a short hop. Back air is still very hard to hit. But then the up air change, pretty significant. And the up tilt change, pretty significant as well. I think being able to do down smash on reaction easier could be good as well. So altogether, I think Piranha Plant, I think these buffs are right for him. Just kind of make his moves stronger, not really focusing on his weaknesses, because his weakness is that his entire game plan is based around whether he gets his neutral set up. And just focusing on that is fine. So yeah, those are just my thoughts on the entire patch. Doing Revenge on weaker hit gives him quite some extra reward and just makes it scary for the opponent to even throw some of their safe moves. Yeah, that's fair enough. Let's see. So, the hero buff is stupid. Kaboom is really strong. But yeah, so looking at what we discussed, I think overall the big winners are definitely Falco, Mewtwo, Meta Knight, Ike as well. I think Pitts is up there, but not quite. And I think the rest all is kind of like in between. Some good changes, but I definitely like if I talk about who I'm gonna be scared about, it's definitely gonna be Mewtwo. It's definitely gonna be Ike. And then to some degree, I think Pitt and I are both gonna be so much more consistent, which are huge changes. Falcon as well, but I think the thing with Falcon is that his weaknesses are still the same. So if you have a character that can abuse his weaknesses, you're gonna do the same as you did before. Yeah, I think Pitt is high tier now. That is my opinion. So yeah, that's all for my thoughts on the patch. I think overall, the issue I have with the patch is that it focuses a lot on, like some of the people in the chat said already, it focuses a lot on increasing the strengths of the characters and not so much fixing the weaknesses. But then again, I don't think you need to fix the weaknesses. I don't think that's the right way to go. I think the right way to go is he can combo reverse up switch into knee if he hits up switch from behind. Dude, Yaga, every time you say that something's funny, I end up thinking it's not very funny, it's just very depressing. But the way I think you should go about these patches is that you buff or that you nerf the top tiers that have game plans that are just so overwhelming that the lower tier characters cannot deal with them. And then when the lower tiers have better strengths and the top tiers have more exploitable weaknesses, then you have a more balanced game. I can see Falco being high tier as well. I'm not convinced yet, but I don't see Falcon. I think Falcon's disadvantage will just forever be too significant to really be high tier. But that's just me. Hey Metroid, how are you doing? How are you doing, man? Everyone needs clear weaknesses. Yeah. So everyone needs clear weaknesses, and the way that you deal with being a low tier is to give them enough strength to at least be able to accomplish what they want to do. Wasn't Falcon high tier in 4? Well, I mean, technically yes. But then again, in 4 he also got bodied by Bayonetta and Cloud and Diddy Kong and Sheik as well. And all of those were characters that were extremely common at the top level. So, like I mentioned before, we got a coaching session at 9.